Rejection is redirection. Always remember this because it will serve you in so many ways, in so many different areas of your life, that actually it can transform it. It can transform the way that you show up in relationships. It can change the way that you show up with your projects, in your business, in your career. It can really truly change everything for you when you begin to believe and see the world through this belief that rejection is redirection. Rejection is not the end. Rejection is not bad. It is not wrong. Rejection is what it is. It is neutral. Rejection is simply feedback from the environment. All right? That's all it is. And the question is really, are you willing to accept the feedback and take it into consideration? And then if you receive rejection over and over and over again for the same pattern, for the same way of being, for the same way of showing up, then you might want to reconsider it, right? You might want to see if there's another way to meet a certain need, to meet a certain way of wanting something or desiring something. Yeah? So rejection is simply just redirection. It is also feedback. What I mean by redirection is really just that when you're being rejected, you're also being asked or nudged by the universe to open yourself up to something beyond the current status quo. You're maybe even being called to a different timeline, to a different reality, to a different circumstance, person, event. Who knows? It's all about allowing yourself to be curious enough to see it this way, that rejection is redirection. And being excited about that, being like, oh my word, how exciting, isn't it, that I am being redirected right now? This universe is so vast, so filled with potential. I'm so excited for this redirection. I can't wait. I'm so enthusiastic about this brand new beginning, this brand new opening, this brand new portal to the new, to new experiences, new ways of looking at things, new knowledge, new connection with myself and others, new contribution, new creativity, new this, new that. How exciting isn't that? When you're being rejected, you're being redirected. Remember this. And allow it to inspire you, to motivate you, to be refreshing, to be rejuvenating. Because it truly is. When you're being accepted, what happens then? Because being accepted is probably the opposite, right, of rejection, of being rejected. So when you're being accepted, let's say into a university, because that is what most people have experience with. A lot of people have been through school or in school. And when they have been accepted, what happens then is that you then kind of are more likely to lock yourself in that position of, yes, I am accepted. I'm here. I'm kind of going in this path now because I've been accepted. So when you've been accepted, you kind of close up your energetic kind of aura, so to speak. And so you're then might not as likely kind of open to something else or something new. Whereas if you're being rejected, what happens? Well, you continue staying open. You continue basically opening yourself up to something else. And so what we're really talking about here is that rejection is a gift. Rejection is something that allows you to stay open, but only if you see it that way. Because if not, if you have the tendency of perfectionism or the habit of perfectionism or the coping mechanism of perfectionism, you might actually see rejection as failure, and then you close yourself up. You close yourself up and you just either stop or you procrastinate or you put your focus elsewhere or something along those lines, or even self-sabotage if you get a new opportunity. This is so common when you have perfectionism, all right? So you want to become really aware and conscious of this. Let's say if you are, looking to invite a person into your life to share it with and to share your growth with and everything as in an intimate partnership. When you're then kind of in that process, you might go through several people, several souls, so to speak, to get to know who you are with them, who they are with you, and who you are together in such a dynamic. And you might experience approval or acceptance, right? Or rejection and denial. And so this is your opportunity then to begin to see rejection and denial as a redirection, as feedback, and being able to actually just have the mindset that is not prideful, as in, oh, they rejected me, it doesn't matter because I'm the best. That's pride. Being able to rather say, I welcome this person's perspective, the way that they view the world, that, we might not have been such a great fit, or that this was not the divine time for us, or something along those lines, which is simply just a way to impose an empowering meaning onto the circumstance of being rejected or rejecting, right? So you get to choose that, because oftentimes you might actually say to yourself, it's me. It's all on me. This was such a mistake. This was such a failure. I wish I didn't do this. Why didn't I do that instead? Shitting all over yourself. And this is not empowering. It's actually disempowering, and it deepens your perfectionism even more. So you will actually then kind of gather evidence subconsciously that perfectionism is necessary, that you should armor up, that you should do things differently next time, yeah? So every time you're interacting with someone, you're being asked to choose to bloom beyond perfectionism and choose to view the world through the filter of light instead of fear, through the filter and the belief that rejection is redirection. And first, it will actually become and be, this belief, but eventually through experience, you'll actually begin knowing that rejection is redirection, because this is actually a fundamental truth in alignment with universal principles, but you might not see it like that or have that knowing yet, and that's okay. Start with basically imposing this kind of wording that rejection is redirection into your daily life, so that whenever someone, kind of shuts you off, or if you feel like things are not going your way, you're being like, I welcome it. Rejection is redirection. It's all good. Everything is well, It's having that compassion for yourself. And this is the greatest act of kindness that you can have in your life journey. And that can be really empowering for your evolution, truly. So rejection is redirection. Rejection is redirection. There are several times in my life where I've been nudged by the universe to see things this way. In the beginning, you might have this attachment and you'll be like, why didn't it go the way that I wanted it to, the way that I desired it to? But still, eventually you'll see that that rejection was redirection. So what if you just turn your sight back and look at your life? Look at the times that you felt like you were rejected, seeing that that was in fact a redirection. It truly was. It led you here. Whether or not you feel like this position in your life right now is empowering or disempowering, it led you here. And this is a new present moment in time, which you get to create from and choose from. So rejection is redirection. You probably have learned a lot through your life. I certainly have. Through relationships, lots of rejection, lots of both approval and rejection. But the rejection, I actually find pretty filled with a lot of gifts. A lot of gifts to begin to see everything differently and through a different lens. And so I fundamentally know that rejection is redirection, because through one rejection, I've been led to an even greater opportunity. You see, what's really empowering about your mind, what's great to know about your mind, is that once your consciousness expands, your mindset expands, it can't go back to the way things were. If you feel like you sometimes do, that's just self-sabotage. You'll still then know of the potential of something else. Make sense? So you'll expand your consciousness, but you might, through perfectionism, contract yourself into the way things were. But you will know deep down that there is something more, because you've experienced it, you've felt it, you've known it. So allow that fact to empower you to again see that, you know, when I'm being rejected, that's just giving me an opportunity to see things differently. And when I begin seeing things differently, I expand my consciousness and I invite in new opportunities, new people, new places, new things that are beyond this current status quo. So you're rarely kind of, you know, backslide or kind of like create worse circumstances unless your subconscious is really self-sabotaging you. So rejection is redirection. Being able to see things this way at a subconscious level can actually be possible through repeatedly imposing this thought pattern onto your mind through repetition. And RTT, rapid transformational therapy, is great for this. Emotional freedom techniques is great for this. And this is exactly what I support you with and help you with, doing when you're in the Bloom Beyond Tribe, Bloom Beyond Perfectionism Program, Bloom Beyond Mastermind. So you're more than welcome to come in there and we can have a look at your current perspective on rejection and what that is to you, what your perspective is on making mistakes or failure, so that you can begin choosing differently and see things differently. That rejection is redirection. It's not failure. It's not mistakes. It's not what you thought it were in the past. So go to bloombeyond.com/apply to apply to get part of a free monthly cohort. There's a lot of people applying, so we're very conscious of whom we're inviting, but you can go to that link, bloombeyond.com/apply, and we might see you on the other side. And until then, stay bright, brave, and balanced.